My name is Mohamed. I'm the co-founder of PopUp Immo. I'm a French entrepreneur, so thanks for hosting me here today. I launched the largest continental European marketplace dedicated to short-term retail spaces. The name is PopUp Immo, but we're going to switch from PopUp Immo to WeOpen because we're also launching PopUp Immo in London. And basically, we launched PopUp Immo out of frustration. I was back in New York in 2007, and I saw during the financial crisis that retailers were going down, and I had myself the idea of launching a physical brand, and it was impossible. You had on one side plenty of empty retail spaces, on the other side plenty of innovative brands willing to book empty retail spaces, and it wasn't working. So that's how I decided to launch PopUp Immo. We decided to be a very lean marketplace, and we took a vertical of Airbnb and decided to launch it out of Paris, because Paris, I'm sorry to say that, is still the fashion capital of the world, and and we had a very unique timing, because there was a combination of landlords willing to work with us and plenty of brands from France, UK, and all around the world willing to try PopUp Immo as a pop-up store marketplace out of Paris. So the value proposition is very straightforward. On one side, we're helping brands to test and validate a business model. On the other side, landlords are using us to save money or make money out of an empty retail space, And we have more or less a collaborative economy marketplace because we're giving a strong value proposition to both sides of the marketplace. Something very important, and it is a limitation of the business model and an opportunity for us. Landlords are not, as of now, willing to work with pop-up store marketplaces. They don't understand it. They are still thinking with this view, we need a long-term tenant. And PopUp Immo is offering short-term retail spaces to tenants. So somehow there is a mismatch. And guess what? We have, I believe, one of the most conservative markets in Paris, and it's working. We launched with 20 spaces last January 2014, and we have close to 900 as of now, which makes us the largest continental European marketplace. And by the end of 2016, based on the numbers we have, we should be the leading marketplace globally. So something quite important, because the way I wanted to introduce PopUp Immo today was through examples. I didn't want to come up with a typical pitch elevator desk. So what we are trying to do right now is to think globally. Our clients, retailers, don't see Paris or London as cities, but as a zone, So why on earth retailers are thinking globally while marketplaces are still based out of London, Paris, etc. That's the reason why we tried with PopUp Immo to come up with an agile way of launching different cities. Today, Matthew, my country manager, is here, and tomorrow we will be in many other cities. And something quite important, as I said before, it's quite easy right now to launch a competitor of Airbnb. It's much more difficult to launch a pop-up store marketplace. Why? Because the legal framework is very, very tricky. It's hard for now to quantify the market size. The insurance companies were not willing to work with us, so it took us close to 1 year to work with AXA out of Paris, and we should be able to launch globally an insurance package for all our customers. And something quite important, pop-up stores are making money. For €1 invested in a pop-up store, companies tend to make €5 out of it. So it's even better than hedge funds. So just something that landlords are asking me very often when I meet them. Is it a fashionable thing? Are we talking about something which is trendy, or is it a structural shift? We believe that we are transforming an economy of ownership into an economy of usage. The pop-up store industry is going to be compared to a booking.com industry. Empty spaces will be booked as easily as hotel rooms, and that's the way we want to vision ourselves in the future. Just to give you a few numbers right now, I didn't want to come up with the French numbers. The pop-up store industry in the UK is significant. We're talking about 26,000 people employed, but more importantly, it makes money and creates value. And based on the recent vacancy numbers in London, there is still room to grow, and there will be plenty more pop-up stores happening. Just a quick question, what is it? It's called in French la cave à bière, so the beer shop. It's a pop-up store, but it's not only a pop-up store. Just imagine if from one pop-up store you could come up with a street of pop-up store. That's what PopUp Immo did. We came up with the first ever street dedicated to pop-up stores in Paris. You guys in London have the Box Park. We launched something even more complicated because we had to overcome legal challenges, convince Paris, the city of Paris, to work with us. And guess what? Clients came. It became an overnight success. The press decided to help us raise the awareness of this project. And from a financial point of view, it became extremely profitable. Landlords made money. The street, which was basically a street that everybody ignored in Paris, became something in the map. And more importantly, brands want to install themselves in this pop-up store. So just as a conclusion, tomorrow, what's happening tomorrow? The pop-up store is going to be there. We're going to innovate again in the format. I believe that pop-up stores will be in planes, airport, swimming pools, concert. Why? Because basically it's the only way to do retail in a very lean and flexible way. Thank you.
Thanks very much. That was fantastic.
I want to stay here.
Ah, great. First quick question from me.
Yeah.
Could you just explain exactly how the mechanism works, how you connect someone who wants to make a pop-up with the landlord?
It's more or less like as easy as booking something in Booking.com. So basically, we connect through the marketplace. So there is one concierge element because we're working with a B2B clients. On one side, we have retailers, and on the other side, landlords. So we cannot book as quickly as Airbnb an empty retail space, but you go through the platform, you book and verify the availabilities of the space through the platform, and then PopUp Immo is making a commission of 20% out of it. Okay. So it's a commission-based business model.
Okay, great, thank you. Cheyney, question?
Sure. I love how you're revitalizing underserved areas, and I love how you can actually impact a community's ability to bring itself back to life. The question that I have is, it seems as though it's overly focused on the bricks and mortar. What other applications for continuing more virtual or digital experience are you thinking about, or are you completely focused on physical retail experience?
That's very good questions. Those are questions that investors are asking me every day. Right now, the market is significant, and we try to stay focused because we could do a lot of things in the pop-up store universe, but we're trying to focus on one thing, sourcing as many spaces as possible, because we have an issue in Paris, and we'll probably have the same in London or New York if we go to there. There are more demands than empty spaces available. So it's very tricky for us to decide to come up with new, innovative way of helping retailers, because we are a team of 15 people. Last year, we were only 2 people, and next year, we're going to be 30 people, and it won't be enough to fulfill the needs.
So I have a follow-up.
Yeah.
So how is your business model different from a management company? A management company that has spaces that they're representing to interested parties.
The management company are using us in France, and they will probably use us in London. Their business model and the way they pay their employees is completely different. We are a neutral marketplace. Management companies, event spaces, many intermediaries are using a pop-up store marketplace because guess what? It brings liquidity to their spaces, and it gives them a very straightforward way of doing business. Because the issue that we faced when we launched PopUp Immo was the following. Commercial brokers didn't want to work with us because they did not get the market, they didn't understand that there was a market, and the way they were paying their employees was mostly commission-driven, and a 20% commission out of 2 days pop-up stores. Only technology combined with way of doing trading of empty spaces allows us to do it. It's impossible for them to work against us, but they have to work with us.
Right. Quick answer then, Bindi.
Very quick question.
Yeah.
How are things going for you in your London launch? Because I know 2 to 3 companies that are doing what you're doing here. And how are you different to those players?
It's going extremely well, because
Can
we
you tell me a bit
realize
more?
that something very, very important is that I'm coming from the financial background, from the financial world, and our competition and they've been doing this business model from a technical point of view and not a financial point of view. What I mean by that is that we are doing trading of empty spaces. They are doing marketplace of empty spaces. And we are going to come up with a fully inclusive insurance package. Nobody is doing it in London. We are going to bring continental European clients to London. Guess what? They don't know any of our competitions as of now.
So how many spaces do you have in London?
Already 200.
200, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And we should become one of the top 3 players by the end of March.
Okay. Watch out up here.